Yo, this is the retro boy, the retro kid, the old school kid, Retronic Icekat on the Real News Talk channel. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. This video is going to be about how female girl groups and artists get held back and manipulated by the record label. So here's my take on it. So apparently, right, I've been doing a little bit of research, right, and I've been reading in about how certain artists get held back, or when they get signed to a record label, get a deal. Basically, their talent gets watered down. They can't do certain things and they can't show their full potential and whatnot. And that right there, I do not agree with, because it degrades the female itself and the persona, and it just ruins their image in a way, because normally, right here, major labels, right, control these artists. They tell them what to do, they tell them what to wear, they supply them with this, they supply them with that. And basically they only get like 20% of their royalties. They don't really get their full percentage. Like 80% of their money, right, goes to the record company, their merchandises, their CDs, their touring, their traveling, etc., etc. It all goes to that. They don't really get as much money as they should be getting, unless they do like a distribution deal or some shit like that. Then they'll get most of their money. But other than that, they don't really get shit back. And the thing about it, right, is that if you don't conform to what they do, right, if they don't conform to what they've been told to do, they get dropped from their record label. It's happened to various artists as well in the past as well. I know there's an artist called Roxanne. She was on a major label just over a year ago, and due to misunderstanding and a dispute, she left the record label because she didn't want to conform to certain things. Because these record labels right here, they try and turn these female artists into, you know, sex symbols like Rihanna and whatnot, and it just pulls them down in a lot of ways that cannot be described. But you should know already that the industry today is full of Satanism indirectly. Like, they don't tell you everything. It's like people like Rihanna, Beyonce, and all these other female artists, all these big names, right, that all these young ones look up to. They indirectly tell them to dress like sluts. They're thinking, oh yeah, it's okay to dress like sluts, and most of these girls are underage as well. And they don't know that when, you know, these like certain pedophiles, right, see all these young girls dressed like that, they're gonna try and attempt to move to them and some shit like that, which I do not agree with. And the artists are to blame mostly for all of this shit, because these young ones, they don't know any better, so they feel like whatever the artist does right here, or it's okay for them to dress slutty, wear their skirt, you know, near the, you know what I'm talking about, basically exposing themselves and whatnot. It's not really a good thing, and they're not really role models. They're, you know, they worship the devil. All these big artists, all these female artists, especially Rihanna as well. I can tell that she's a big time devil. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not God and I'm not supposed to be judging, but that's just how I see it. And it's blatantly obvious. It's in our faces already, the way that she portrays herself and so forth. So, yeah. I remember Iggy Azalea did an interview as well a while back about how the industry is and shit like that, and how certain female artists get held back, you know, and whatnot, and, you know, they can't really do certain things. I agree with her, you know, I agree with Iggy Azalea on that one, because, you know, it's not really fair that as an artist, right, you want to showcase your full potential, yet they water down your talent. You know, you have to do what they tell you to do, or else they'll drop you. You stop selling records, and then nobody will talk about you no more, and they'll make fans turn against you, and then they'll go and move to the next big thing. You know what I'm saying? It's happening with various artists right now. It's happening with so many artists. You know, you start having problems with their management, their manager, and they can't really, you know, do as much as they would want to. You know, I just don't understand. understand. But I guess just, what do you expect from the mainstream media? They want to make all these girls turn into sluts, and half of them are not even like that. But I know you're going to say, oh yeah, all girls are slutty, yeah, they always say that, just to cover themselves up. But how do you know that? What does that make you at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you any better than the person that you're judging, you know what I'm saying? I mean, who else? I know Stussy at the moment are actually working on their second album, as I've previously mentioned in my video on the Mr. Icekat channel. They're actually doing well as well. They kind of sorting out management at the moment, so basically that is why they haven't really been on their Twitter, because they don't really own their Twitter website. It's whoever established the Twitter account are, in charge of it. So basically they tell them when to come and when not to come. So basically that is why we haven't really seen them on Twitter recently, and they've been on Facebook. They have more control of their Facebook than they do with their Twitter for some reason. I don't really know, but that's just my assumption, you know what I'm saying? But it'll be good for them to come back on Twitter at some point, interact with fans again. But I know at the same time, you can't really do everything at once. You're in the studio all the time and trying to promote yourself even further to better yourself, and whatnot. It's very, very hard to communicate with fans and work at the same time. So it's best to keep your mind focused on one thing and then move on to the other thing later on. And that's what Stussy are doing at the moment. I really respect these guys, and they really basically they deserve a lot of credit. They deserve a lot more credit than they already have. I know they have a small fan base and they're not really well known, but I have a feeling very, very soon they will bounce back even harder and the whole world will know about them. I know ever since their return from the US, a lot has changed with management and whatnot, so basically that's why they haven't really been getting that much exposure besides doing small gigs across England. But I know they will come back. I know everyone will start hearing about them again. So, make sure you follow them on Twitter. Stussy, STWSHE. They're really cool girls as well. They're very cool girls. They're very real. I remember Karis saying that how basically the girls, they have more control with their material now than they did before. So maybe that's probably the reason why they're having some sort of problems at the moment. I don't know what it is, but it could be anything. So yeah, I just hope that they're more happy now with what they have and what they're doing right now, and their second album becomes a bigger success than London with the Lights On was, because I know London with the Lights On was pretty good, even though they were basically the manager had control with most of the work. I know that the second album they have more leeway and it should sound a lot better if they have the full control over their material now. You know what I mean? You see, with all these major labels, right, they like to water down all these artists, like I said before. They like to water them down. They don't like to, they don't want them to showcase themselves to the max. It's like you have to become a sex symbol in order to sell, because I know sex sells, and that's what you have to do in this day and age. But sex is normal, you know what I'm saying? It's part of the human nature. But I'm talking about music. I'm talking about being a proper role model to young kids, because young kids listen to music a lot more than the older generation nowadays. Because the older generation, they listen to songs from way back, like the 60s, 70s, and even a little bit before them times. Like all the young kids now, they're taking over the industry. They're taking over the fan base, they're taking over the TV, they're taking over everything, and they look up to these celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Some of them don't even have any role models to look up to besides these artists that are on TV and we see every day. But the artists themselves, like Rihanna and all them, they're not really role models. They're not really true, somebody that you could look up to, someone that can guide you in the right light. Them type of people are guiding you the wrong way into prostitution, indirectly. But it's sad that the young ones can't see it, but hopefully one day that they will see it. You know what I mean? I think it's disrespectful to insult the intelligence and talent of these female artists, because they deserve a lot more better. know what I mean? There's so many talented female artists right now that are out there, and they want to showcase themselves to the max without being controlled fully. Because I know in the industry right here, most of your stuff, like basically most of what you do and what you control gets taken away from you. A little bit, that is, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Some may say, oh, a girl would have to sell herself just to get to the top. That's just so down degrading. It is so degrading. It's just the way I see it. I speak my mind. I don't care what anybody else says. If you beg to differ, then just let me know. But my opinions remain the same regardless of what you say. You know, at the end of the day, we all have different views and different opinions. So whatever you say ain't gonna matter. But, you know, I just wanted to get out there because at the end of the day, it's like the music industry is getting worse now. Like, it's not like back in the 80s, right, here, when you had all these legendary female artists, right, that would pour their heart out in their music and, you know, without looking sexy and indirectly sending out satanic messages to all these young fans that look up to them and whatnot. They had respect for themselves and they knew what they were doing. They were very, very wise back then with these record labels, because these record labels like to put all these women into a trap because they see women as the weaker sex. But back then, the older generation, they knew what they were doing. They saw all of that. So basically, you know, that's why you don't really hear about some of them anymore, because they were real. They were real. They weren't conformers. They weren't full conformers. I'm not saying they wasn't 100% non-conformers, but I know a few of them were conformers. I know Madonna had some sort of satanic messages in her songs back in the 80s, and she still does up to this day. But, you know, that's Madonna. That's why she's so big. But I'm talking about other artists like Stephanie Mills and all them legendary female R&B artists, right? That was so talented. They never talked about sex. They never talked about all of that crap. They talked about real stuff. They talked about love. They talked about passion. They carry themselves in a respectable manner. That's why they will be remembered as one of the greatest of all time. Whereas all these artists now of today, they're not going to be remembered that much, because people 10, 20 years from now, yeah, people are going to look at them as a joke. They're going to look at them as a slut. Look at that slut on TV dressing half naked, shaking her ass and all that. Do you think that's music? If I wanted to watch that, I'd watch porn. You know? I'd watch porn. But this is music we're talking about. Music's about reality. But the reality right now is about being, you know, something that you're not. Being controlled like a puppet. It's either you're a follower or a leader. And most of these female artists, I'm sorry to say this, but most of them are followers. They're sheep, they're manipulated. It's all about mind controlling. That's the way to see it. These major record labels sometimes are not even worth signing up to, because at the end of the day, they say they'll give you this and give you that, but at the end of the day, yeah, when the devil comes back to collect now, what are you going to do? Huh? They're going to want you to do something in return. And that's humiliate yourself. That's why a lot of these actresses, like Amanda Bynes, Daisy Lohan, they recently went cuckoo in the past. I know they're trying to better themselves now, but this is what the industry can do to people like them. And that's what the media thrives on. So, if you're an upcoming female artist and you're planning to make something of yourself, make sure you know what you're doing and make sure you know the concept and the craft of the industry and how it operates. Because at the end of the day, these artists cannot be trusted at all. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to be rich and get all these big houses and whatnot, because it doesn't work that way. Because all the money ain't going to be going to you. It will mostly be going to the record company. It will most likely be going on to your tour, your merchandises, your CD sellings, your albums, you know, your interviews, your talk shows. It will most likely be going on to that. You're traveling. You know what I mean? It will most likely be going on to that. And you probably get, what, 20% of the royalties that you earn. So just think about it. I want you to really think about it. I want you to be smart with your work ethic and your business standpoint. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, people are just out to get people into a trap. And you gotta be smart. And that's just how I see it at the end of the day. But that's my take on it. Real News Talk channel. This is Electronic Icekat. Follow me on Twitter at Electronic Icekat. Subscribe to my other channel, Mr. Icekat. Rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. And I'll be doing more videos very, very soon and whatnot. I'm also working on my music as well. I'm an artist too, you know, upcoming artist. So make sure to stay tuned for more updates on my stuff and what I'm going to be doing in the future. Until next time, word up.